Hello, welcome to my blog. Today I'd like to share a technique that I use with my patients when I'm doing deep healing work with them. And these types of meditations have all sorts of application. The title of my blog presentation today, video blog presentation, is How to Calm Your Mind, Entering Your Inner Cave. I'm going to be teaching you a technique that's a combination of meditation and what Carl Jung called and popularized as active imagination, which is using inner imagery and interacting with the inner imagery to create a legitimate inner experience that can be very, very positive and very powerful. And I could go on a long dissertation about the use and effects of active imagination, but I've been using it for many, many years in my life very, very effectively, and it's helped me with countless things, from developing new education programs to solving problems to getting answers to questions that I have that I can't find answers to in books or printed resources or things like that. So I'll let you know right now that I'm actually going to take you on a guided meditation. So there's a couple ways to engage this video. One, you can pause it right now and get yourself in a comfortable position, which could be a chair or laying on the floor or even standing if you prefer, but I find this works best seated or laying down. And you can actually do the meditation practice with me, and I'll guide you through it, or you can just watch it, get the kind of the flow, the concept, and some of the key concepts as I just share them with you, and maybe take a couple of notes, and then go somewhere where you have a nice quiet environment and you can do the practice yourself. Today we have huge problems with people who have suffered from anxiety and attention deficit challenges, and basically monkey mind, people that can't get their minds to calm or feel like their mind is controlling them instead of them using their mind to create what they want in life. Now, before I get into the technique, I'd like to say there are a couple of aids that can be helpful. One, if you burn some incense with frankincense and sandalwood, that's been used for thousands of years by monks to help enhance meditative states and inner visioning states. You can also use a diffuser. I have a diffuser right here, which you can get from essentialoilwizardry.com/CHEK. And I've also got a couple of oils. There's other oils that I talk about with Dr. Nick Berry, the essential oil wizard and the founder of essentialoilwizardry.com, in one of my not too distant podcasts on Living 4D with Paul Chek. That's the title of my podcast. There's 2 episodes with Dr. Nick Berry, who is a very, very tapped in, highly intelligent guy, very much a shaman, has a degree in pharmacy, and is an expert at essential oils. With, as you'll see if you listen to the podcast, there's some clips of me and him right here on my YouTube channel. But if you go to essentialoilwizardry.com/Chek, the oil that I use the most for meditation and active imagination is third eye, and it's very helpful for opening your third eye. Another one I find helpful is diviner's eye. What I do with third eye, if I want to get some support, I'm naturally clairvoyant, but this does definitely enhance my inner visioning, is I take a few drops, rub it into my third eye, rub it into my temples, rub it into the base of my skull, over my 5th chakra around the neck, and over my heart chakra, and that really helps open up the third eye in your inner visioning capacity. With that out of the way, I'm going to take you on what is classically called a guided meditation experience, and I'll give you the overview before we begin so that you know where we're at. The first thing I'm going to do once we begin the meditation is say, see yourself walking on a trail in the forest. And then I'm going to say, follow the trail. And then the trail's going to go down a hill, and you're going to see there's a canyon to your left. And I'm going to tell you to follow the trail to the bottom of the canyon. There'll be a creek. You'll cross the creek and go up a hill, and you'll see an opening to a cave there. Then I will guide you into the cave from there, and I will show you how we can go in the cave, within which there is a little underground stream, like a small river, and like a wading pool there, around which are some large rocks that are good for sitting on. Once we get there, I will show you how to use the meditation technique and the feedback mechanism I'll describe, so you can learn to actually use the active imagination to learn to calm your mind, to calm your body, to calm your breathing, even calm your emotions. And this is a technique that I personally use a lot. I developed this meditation myself, as I have developed many meditations for my students and my clients and patients over the years. And I find this one most effective for me and a lot of the people that I've taught it, because of the way it works. I actually shared this for one of Ben Greenfield's groups, and they got good feedback on it. So now, with the preamble out of the way, if you want to stop the video so you can get comfortable and get ready to go into this meditation with me, go ahead. Otherwise, go ahead and just listen and take some notes so you can go do it yourself based on the basic technique that I share. So to begin with, let's take a series of slow, deep belly breaths. So remember, the first 2/3 of the breath should come from the belly, and the last third only from the chest. Now, if you keep going while I tell you a couple other things, just keep your breathing going. The more wound your mind is, the more you want to retain the breath, which causes retention of carbon dioxide, which stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system and activates the right brain hemisphere, which is the hemisphere that you're going to be using the most in a meditative experience like this. So the more wound up you are, the more you want to retain CO2. So when you take that breath, a very good technique often used by the yogis is called a 4-6-8 breath. So you inhale for 4, hold for 6, and exhale slowly out the mouth or the nose for 8. As you end the breath in the last couple of seconds, draw the umbilicus in to push all the stale air out of your lungs, and visualize all the stress leaving your body. I call it taking the garbage out. I find it very helpful to be audible on the exhale, so you then in for 4, hold for 6, release for 8. Generally, you want to do that for anywhere from 4 to 6 or 7 minutes, or until you feel a nice sense of calm. Okay, so with that out of the way, that's faster than I normally go, but I don't want you to have to sit and watch me breathe for minutes on end. So now what I'd like you to do is just get real comfortable. and just follow me in your mind's eye. Just allow yourself to imagine that you are where I suggest to be and that you are seeing the things that I'm suggesting that you see. So go ahead now and see yourself walking down a trail, like the kind of trail you see in parks. And you're heading off sort of to the left. And the trail is going to take a right-hand bend and start going downhill. Just see yourself walking on the trail. Look down and see your feet. Feel the earth beneath your feet. As you're walking, look around, see the trees, listen to the birds. Smell the pine in the air, the fir. And as you're walking down the trail, if you look to your left, you'll see a canyon. And about 400 meters downhill, you'll come to the bottom of the hill in the canyon. There's a little creek right there, which is ankle deep. Just walk right across the water. Follow the trail up the embankment to the doorway of the cave. Now that you're standing at the doorway of the cave, just walk in a little bit. Let your eyes adjust to the darkness. There are holes where the light comes through at various points in the cave, so it's not totally dark. But you'll notice if you look down, there's a trail in the cave where people have come into the cave on multiple occasions. Just go ahead and start walking into the cave. And in a minute, the trail will fork, and you're going to take a left. And as you're walking down that trail in the cave, any second now you're going to hear the sound of flowing water like a creek or a small river. And that trail you're on is going to run right along the water, and you're going to come to what looks like a big wading pool or an underground river with a wading pool, and there's pretty good sized stones sitting on the edge of the water. Once you see the water and the stones, just choose one of those stones to sit on, and you might see me sitting there right next to you. And then look at the water. You'll notice it's quite flat. There's a little small waterfall pouring down into it. And the water's quite flat, moving quite slowly. And then look at the water and just say out loud inside the cave, "Dear water spirits, please mirror the activity of my mind, my emotions, and my body as I sit in meditation with you." Now, looking at the water through active imagination, take a couple of deep, fast breaths and watch what happens to the water. And right away I see the water getting agitated and like rolling over on itself. Then relax your mind and your body. And notice that the water calms right down. And as you sit watching the water, you'll have thoughts jump in and out of your head, or all of a sudden you'll find yourself thinking about something else and realize you're out of the cave, out of the meditation. And when you come back in, just bring your consciousness back to the cave, look at the water, you'll notice it's moving. It's mirroring your mind back to you. So what we want to do is we want to practice looking at the water and using it as a biofeedback tool and keeping our breathing slow and rhythmic. Imagine your mind is like a muscle and you've just finished a heavy set of squats or deadlifts, and you're real happy to just sit down and go, and just let your mind relax, let your scalp relax, let your tongue stay soft. And once you get to the point where you're calm enough inside and the water's getting to be flat, then it becomes like a mirror. So now just look into the water and see if you can calm your breathing and relax your mind so that you can actually see your reflection or the top of the cave being mirrored in the water. Now, another technique you can use once you've gotten calm enough to get that water to start reflecting like a mirror is you can put an intention to your soul, the consciousness within you. So if you have a challenge in your life or there's a question you have, just say, "Dear soul, please show me any image that will help either answer the question that you have," which you would state, "Please show me how to solve this challenge," or "Please show me ways I can be more loving in relationship to my partner. Please show me how I can have more empathy for people that I find challenging." Things like that. And then just relax your mind and look into the water like you're looking into a mirror. And see what rises. Now, generally, I do this meditation for about 20 minutes, and often when I get images, they're more like a video. My soul is showing me something. It's showing me as though I was watching a video on how to put a model together or how to do a certain type of healing technique or prayer or whatever. But my point that I want to share at this point is it's very good to keep a notebook and draw any images or notes that you pick up and any messages you get from your inner self or your soul. And you'll know that those messages are coming from your soul when you learn to calm your mind, because if your mind's not moving and the water's not moving, but you can hear a voice within yourself giving you what is clearly wise counsel, you can rest fairly comfortably in the fact that that's your soul speaking to you. And you can always tell when it's your higher self or your soul, because using that information or guidance always enhances your life in ways that your ego could not do by itself. Many times I've been astonished at how much more I can learn listening to my soul than I can listening to the typical voice in my head that I equate with my own thinking process. Now, obviously, you can stay as long as you want to and keep practicing. You can invite others to join you. It's quite fun. Oftentimes when I do this with groups, we see each other and we often see the same images. So, for example, I've had experiences where I might have seen a bear or a certain image mirrored back to me in the water, and when I talk to my students about what they see, without them even knowing what I saw the same thing, and several other people in the group saw the same thing, because ultimately there is only one mind. The ego creates the illusion of separation, but we're all communicating with each other all the time through the unconscious. So just to keep the video from getting too long, now the way we would come out is my personal approach. As I get up, I say thank you to the elements, thank you to the spirit of the cave and the mountain, thank you to my soul, thank you, Great Spirit, for guiding me to how to live and love more fully. And then I turn around and trace my footsteps back down the hill, across the creek, and I walk back to the trail to the point at which I entered the active imagination, and then I bring myself back to my chair here or wherever you're laying or sitting, and slowly open your eyes, and you'll probably notice there's a deep sense of calm in you, and that's when you want to have a notebook. Well, that's fresh, because really the experience is very much like you're having a dream. And just like a dream, if you don't write it down first thing in the morning when you remember it, within minutes or an hour or two, it's very hard to remember the dream, even if it was quite profound, and you can lose the ability to refer back to it or go into a dream analysis to get the deeper meanings out of it. But I have many, many notebooks or journals that I've kept track of my meditations like this for a number of years, and they have lots of drawings and interesting things and things I learned from talking to my soul, and they've been tremendously helpful, and they're also great to share with my clients and students and patients when they're up here working with me, so that they can see what it looks like to really engage this practice continuously enough and for long enough to really begin to develop skill at working with your inner world and your active imagination, which is all your psyche. So if you like these kinds of techniques, I suspect you'd probably really enjoy entering my Holistic Lifestyle Coach training program, where we teach you a variety of different types of working in technologies, mental, emotional, self-management technologies that you can use for yourself and with your clients, along with many other useful assessments and methods for helping people. And if you're interested in that, you can go to chekinstitute.com. To get to the professional training, you have to complete HLC1, which you can do online or live. And then the professional training programs we hold at various locations around the world, from Australia to England, sometimes in different parts of Europe, and here in San Diego. It depends on the schedule and who we have teaching and where they're at. But you're welcome to come to HLC2 once you finish HLC1 and learn how to do holistic lifestyle coaching professionally. And for many of you who have the desire to help people heal and grow, that's an excellent entry point into making a living doing what you love to do. So you can learn more about that at chekinstitute.com. And again, just a reminder, if you want to check into some essential oils that are very helpful, go to essentialoilwizardry.com/CHEK. And if you listen to my podcast with Dr. Nick Berry, there's a nice discount offer for you there as well. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed calming the mind in your inner cave. And I hope you practice and get good at it, because I can assure you, you'll find yourself much more calm inside, much more clear-headed, much more capable of solving challenges, and you'll deepen your trust in your inner guidance system, your higher self, and your soul. So thanks for joining me. Lots of love. Aho, Great Spirit.